Hello everyone, we warmly welcome you all to our special program brought to you by Indian Achievers Forum. I am your host Vatika Singh. Indian Achievers Award is an honor that celebrates the people who went extraordinary to effectuate their aspirations and ideas. In this series, we emphasize not only on the struggles and achievements of the people, but also on the social contributions they made to their native land, India. Before introducing you all to our one such achiever, let's take a look at the small AV.
Indian Achievers Forum is driven by a full-fledged advisory board. The board consists of experienced personalities who have excelled in their respective careers. Together, the forum organizes conferences, events, workshops, exhibitions, trade shows, and B2B initiatives in India as well as abroad. Where there is passion, there is achievement. And where there is achievement, there is Indian Achievers Forum.
Mr. Harpal Sandhu is the man behind the influencer coach Harp. He is also the founder and CEO of the Coach Harp organization, which has been in operation since 2021. The organization continues to develop meaningful relationships between team members and clients. Alongside those accolades, he is also known as the outgoing host of the Coach Harp show. He is a motivational speaker as well as being a strong advocate for mental health. He enjoys supporting youth development and giving back to his community. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you doing today?
I'm fine as well. So, before entering into the questions, tell us something about you and your professional role.
What I do is I work with people, and my biggest passion is I try to find the treasures on how we're able to help each other. I'm a big believer in relationships. Relationships are very big. Without relationships, you're not able to do much in business. That also goes with your personal life too.
Right. So, moving ahead, I'm really keen to know that how did this idea came into your mind of pursuing this particular field as your business?
How it came to my mind was over over 20 years of dealing with people, with relationships, stuff like that. And one of the things I realized is that we're missing the aspect on how we're able to move into business, especially being the owner of Coach Harp organization and being a CEO. What I realized is that a lot of people struggle in many areas. And one of the things they struggle with business, and what I realize is business is very same as in your personal life. A lot of people are looking for to make it big in life, but one of the things we realize is that we don't have all the mechanisms to get you to where you want to get in life. For example, a lot of people are looking at how to have a platform. They're looking for something for distribution. And the biggest thing is what they're trying to do is how can they get a digital presence? There's a lot of work involved with that. And what we try to do is we try to dig deep into the individual and we try to see on how we're able to bring that out within them and be able to help them out directionally to see where they want to go. Basically, we try to narrate how they want to look online and how their following is going too.
Indeed, sir. So, we know for a fact that starting anything has never been easy for any one of us. So, what all were the challenging predicaments that you had to go through initially in this journey?
There's a lot of challenges in this journey. One of the biggest things is you look at yourself and you say, are you in the right lane? Is this what's going to work for you? And you're always doubting yourself. The biggest thing you have to realize as being a business owner and entrepreneur is you're going to have ups and downs. A lot of people want to be around you when you're very successful. But what about the time when you're on the bottom and nobody really knows who you are? What about those behind the scenes? And I feel that's what makes a lot of the business people is your tenacity, not giving up. Yes, a lot of people will be negative and a lot of people say you can't do this. But what's really going to determine a true champion is who you really are. And the biggest thing is you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, can I do this?
Well said, sir. So, talking about Coach Harp, what are the product and services of Coach Harp with which you cater to your people?
One of the things that we do is we look at people. A lot of people say, Coach, we want to be influencers. But in realistic, influence is not going to say he's real influencer. The biggest thing is trying to find what your true passion is. That could take a long time because people have that buried inside them. Passion versus work. And once you find what the passion is, people like to follow people who have strong passion, strong drives. Influencer is never going to say he's an influencer. So what we try to do is we try to work with clients and we try to find that first in them. What is their true passion and how can we get that out of them? And then we try to work that digitally. We also do strategic planning. Through strategic planning, we also built on relationships. Relationships are very huge, and a lot of people don't realize they have a very big network. And that network is all based on relationships. Is how can you identify yourself and how can you communicate with the world? Do you notice I say how? A lot of people focus on the how, but here's the thing is if you know your why, it's going to help you to reach your goal. So what we try to do is we try to give a lot of organic stuff to the individuals because a lot of uh, influencers try to come with an idea, oh, I could do this stuff like that, but realistically, they don't have the tools, the metrics, or the measurements. Trying to get them into strategic planning. Strategic planning is very important. That could take months to figure out where you want to go. It's like putting out a business plan. That's the same thing with life. You got to have an idea and you got to know your narrative and which way you're going to go. And we help build that. We're basically heavily based on relationships first because a lot of people come from working with a transaction. In business, it's about sales transaction. What happens when your sales transaction ends? What's next? That's why relationships are very, very important to dig deep and try to figure that out. So we have strategic planning. We also do business relationships. We also do where we try to network people, where we facilitate them with other networks. Because the biggest thing is you got to be able to have a distribution channel. And it's all takes years and years. A lot of people will spend a lot of money to become an influencer in about 3 to 6 months. Then they feel this road isn't worth it. Even myself, I have 3 mentors. The 3 mentors keep me focused on what I need to get done. So that's my suggestion is that you really need to have mentors to help you guide where you want to go in life because realistically is if you don't have the answer and you haven't been there, ask people. They will help you. So that's one of our specialties is we lead with relationships. Our biggest thing that we do is how can we help you? Very simple.
So, on that note, sir, we move on to the next question. Tell us something about the future plans of Coach Harp.
The future plans for Coach Harp organization is we want to become a Fortune 500 company. How do you do that? You got to do stuff that you will not do, meaning your goal has to be really big. You want to be, it's called working in the uncomfort zone. A lot of people get very comfortable and they like to work with their strengths. I challenge people, business people, entrepreneurs to find what the weakest is in their system and develop that first. It's all about balancing, but more people seem to lean on their strengths more. I challenge people to figure out your weakness and let's build that up first, and then let's have a well balanced life. That comes from basically understanding again where you're going to be going in the future. And the biggest thing is when you're going to be a Fortune 500 company, you got to think 5 years ahead what that looks like. And you got to also project unforeseen events. That's the most important things that we entrepreneurs forget is we see what the world looks like, but we get off track or we get driven away from we get distracted. So the biggest thing is you got to know what your 1 year to 5 year to 10 year plan is, and then you got to work backwards from that. That's my suggestion on how to be able to get the goal. And I feel being a Fortune 500 company, you put it out there, and then you allow the universe help you get you to your destination. Like how I'm here right now speaking to the world and trying to let them know that just ask. Help is there, and you cannot do it by yourself. You need a collaboration with more than one person.
And we wish you all the luck for all these plans of yours. Now, since we know a lot about your professional role, tell us something about your social contributions as well, sir.
Social contributions that Harp does is I'm involved with. I have a nonprofit organization which is called South Asian Sports Development Association. We work with South Asians where we try to get them into sports where they want to become professionals. We connect them with a lot of aspects of what the sports looks like. And we work with a lot of South Asian communities, especially with parents, letting them know that it's okay because you need a sports outlet to be able to move forward. And we provide them with professional coaches. So that's one of my nonprofit organizations. And I also am a volunteer for Kids Play Foundation. What that is that was started from a detective in Vancouver, BC. His name is Cal DeSange. And what we try to do is I work the Calgary chapter out here with volunteers. I'm a volunteer myself too. And what we try to do is we work with kids from the ages of 4 to 17. And we try to keep them away from gangs, drugs, and violence. So we work, and a lot of our events are free for the children. Our biggest thing is if you're not going to invest with the children, where's our next leaders going to be?
Right, sir. So, before concluding this session, you know that IF is followed not only by mainstream organizations, but also those young minds who aspire to be like our achievers someday. So, what is that one message you'd like to give them?
The one message I like to give everyone is don't give up on your dreams. And do not listen to the naysayers. Block out the haters. They're all going to be around you. Get tunnel vision. At the end of the day, you owe to your family, and you definitely owe to yourself. And always look yourself in the mirror. And you got to answer to yourself. Is you got to dig deep inside you, and you got to definitely want it more than anyone else. They always say business entrepreneurs, business leaders, they call us crazy because we have substantially big goals to achieve. Live big, dream big, and make sure all your dreams come true.
And that I must say, sir, is a great piece of advice. Thank you so much for joining with us today. It was a pleasure talking to you, and we hope that you continue to inspire people of all ages forever. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.